How Iñaki Urdangarin's blackmail shocks Letizia and Felipe, royal secrets revealed. In a stunning revelation that has sent shockwaves through the Spanish royal family, new confidential details have emerged about Iñaki Urdangarin's secret blackmail scheme targeting Queen Letizia and King Felipe VI. Behind the polished facade of Spain's monarchy lies a tangled web of betrayal, manipulation, and hidden agendas, exposing cracks that no one could have anticipated. A royal scandal beyond the headlines. Most know Iñaki Urdangarin as the disgraced former Duke of Palma, whose corruption scandal once rocked the monarchy. But recent leaked documents and insider accounts now suggest that Urdangarin's ambitions went far beyond financial fraud. Sources close to the palace reveal that, in a desperate bid to regain influence and protect himself from further legal consequences, he orchestrated a clandestine blackmail plot aimed squarely at the reigning monarchs themselves. The scheme allegedly involved carefully gathered sensitive information about Queen Letizia's private life, details that could have irreparably damaged her reputation and undermined the stability of the royal family. According to these sources, Urdangarin used intermediaries to discreetly send veiled threats demanding hush money and political favors in exchange for silence. The shock to Letizia and Felipe. For Queen Letizia and King Felipe, the news came as an unimaginable betrayal. Once bound by family ties and a shared public image, the revelation that a trusted relative could manipulate them with such ruthless tactics left the royal couple deeply shaken. Inside the palace, whispers of tension and mistrust spread like wildfire, forcing Letizia and Felipe to reevaluate their inner circle and security protocols. It was more than just a legal or financial threat, one insider explains. It was a personal attack, aimed at the very heart of their dignity and honor as monarchs. Despite the intense pressure, the royal couple chose to face the crisis head-on. They worked with legal experts and private investigators to dismantle the blackmail network, quietly but decisively cutting off any leverage Urdangarin held over them. The hidden motives behind the plot. Experts speculate that Urdangarin's motivations were fueled by desperation and resentment. After serving time for corruption, feeling marginalized and stripped of titles, he allegedly sought a way to claw back power and influence by targeting the only people in the royal family who still commanded public trust. This is a case of a fallen prince trying to manipulate the throne, says a Spanish political analyst. By threatening Letizia and Felipe, Urdangarin was essentially trying to bargain for his own redemption, or revenge. Moreover, the scandal has exposed long-standing fractures within the royal family, revealing how personal grievances can escalate into dangerous political threats. What this means for the Spanish monarchy. The fallout from this blackmail scandal has left Spain's royal institution at a crossroads. While the monarchy has weathered storms before, the personal nature of this betrayal threatens to erode public confidence more deeply than ever. Yet, many believe Letizia and Felipe's measured response, choosing transparency with trusted advisors and refusing to bow to intimidation, may ultimately strengthen their reign. By confronting such internal treachery decisively, they signal a new era of resilience and vigilance within the palace walls. Looking ahead. Though the immediate threat from Urdangarin appears contained, questions remain. How many others within the royal circle might harbor hidden ambitions? And what other secrets might still lie buried beneath the royal veneer? One thing is certain, the Spanish monarchy will never be the same again. The blackmail plot not only exposed vulnerabilities but also sparked a profound reckoning about trust, loyalty, and the true cost of power. Inside the palace, a climate of suspicion and unease. In the aftermath of the blackmail revelations, the atmosphere within the Zarzuela Palace, the official residence of the Spanish monarchs, has reportedly shifted from formal cordiality to cautious distrust. Close aides and family members now tread carefully, aware that any misstep could spark another scandal. Queen Letizia, known for her composed yet fiercely protective nature, is said to have tightened her circle of confidants, relying only on those with proven loyalty. King Felipe, meanwhile, is reportedly more reserved, often consulting with his closest advisors in private and limiting his public appearances temporarily to manage the crisis discreetly. Palace insiders describe intense meetings behind closed doors, where security measures were overhauled and new protocols introduced to prevent unauthorized access to sensitive information. They are determined not to let their family be vulnerable again, says one royal staff member who wished to remain anonymous. The role of Infanta Cristina and other royals. Though the blackmail plot centers on Iñaki Urdangarin, questions have arisen about whether other members of the royal family had knowledge of his activities or were indirectly affected by the turmoil. Infanta Cristina, Urdangarin's wife, who distanced herself from the royal family following her husband's corruption conviction, is believed to have been caught in an emotional crossfire. Some speculate that she may have been a mediator or even an unintentional pawn in the unfolding drama. Meanwhile, other senior royals have kept a low profile, focusing on damage control and public relations efforts to maintain the monarchy's dignity amid growing media scrutiny. Public reaction, between sympathy and doubt. Outside the palace walls, the Spanish public's reaction has been mixed. Many express sympathy for Queen Letizia and King Felipe, admiring their strength in confronting such a personal attack. Yet, others voice frustration and skepticism about the monarchy's internal issues and the recurring scandals surrounding Urdangarin. Social media platforms have become battlegrounds of opinion, with hashtags both supporting and criticizing the royal family trending intermittently. Political commentators argue that this episode could fuel Republican sentiments or calls for reforms in the institution. Legal battles and investigations. Although Urdangarin's past legal troubles are well documented, this new blackmail allegation has prompted fresh investigations by Spanish authorities. Prosecutors have reportedly reopened certain inquiries to examine the extent of the blackmail scheme and identify any accomplices. Legal experts believe that, if proven, charges could be brought against Urdangarin for extortion and intimidation, offenses that carry severe penalties under Spanish law. However, the palace remains guarded, hoping the matter will resolve quietly without spilling further details into the public domain. A royal family tested, and transformed. The unfolding blackmail scandal is a defining moment for Spain's monarchy. It challenges the family not only to protect their legacy but also to redefine what royal strength means in the modern age. Queen Letizia and King Felipe's handling of this crisis, marked by discretion, resilience, and a refusal to be intimidated, sends a powerful message: even amidst betrayal, the monarchy can endure and evolve. Whether this episode will ultimately strengthen their reign or deepen divisions remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the Spanish royal family is no longer untouchable, and their secrets are under an unprecedented spotlight. Expert analysis: what this means for the future of the monarchy. Dr. Carmen Alvarado, a renowned expert in European royal affairs, shared her thoughts on the scandal's wider implications. This blackmail episode exposes a deep vulnerability in what many consider an almost untouchable institution. It reminds us that behind the pomp and ceremony, royal families are as human as anyone else, susceptible to greed, envy, and desperation. For King Felipe and Queen Letizia, the challenge will be balancing tradition with transparency. The public demands honesty now more than ever. How they navigate this crisis could define the monarchy's survival in the 21st century. Meanwhile, political analyst Javier Morales warned of the potential political ramifications. Scandals like this play into the hands of Republican movements. If the monarchy cannot assure the public of its integrity, calls for abolishing the crown may gain momentum. The timing is especially sensitive with upcoming regional elections. Behind closed doors, imagined conversations and tensions. Though strictly confidential, insiders have shared imagined glimpses of tense moments inside the palace.